Alrighty, folks, you have undoubtedly heard, maybe even afraid of AI causing havoc in the white collar arena. We're actually going to go a little bit deeper and we're going to talk about mortgage brokers and the fact that AI might be on the cusp of replacing all mortgage brokers. Stephen, you've been in the market for multiple decades. When someone comes to you and says that AI is going to replace all mortgage brokers, what say you?
I don't know about all. I would say maybe a good chunk, only because certain loan programs are more rigid in the sense of it's cookie cutter, it's automated. You kind of either fit the box or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think with AI, it's just when you I think fill out just certain fields, for certain questions, it should automatically know how to place your loan when it's
Okay.
kind of just typically refi, purchase, certain FICO score range,
Right.
LTV, loan amount, property type, location, FICO score. After that, you throw that all in the mix, and
Yeah.
most Fannie Freddie government type sponsored loans are now underwritten through what they call an AUS, or automated underwriting system already. So now to simplify just the paperwork
Right.
logistics, that's removing the middleman typically, which is the person managing all that paper flow. If you can
Yeah.
automate that now, I mean, they're already doing that with online banking. You take a picture of your check, or you know what I
Right.
mean. So it's very similar. Where I think now it'll be in the hands of the borrower. It eliminates certain third-party fees, I guess, to some degree, in the sense of like overhead processing, things of that nature. If it's automated and then self-serve kind of a thing, that'll
Yeah.
lower the cost for borrowers as well. Because in a sense, the manual labor of scanning something or taking a picture could eliminate
Yeah.
$500 of a processing fee or something.
Yeah. Well, we'll get more into this. I got a lot of follow-up question, but I almost forgot to do the marketing
The spiel.
spiel.
No, that's okay. We didn't get too deep into it. So again, although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own. So let's
Yeah.
get another one going.
Yeah. So when I really think about, because again, I've been getting mortgages as a consumer for 3 decades now,
Right.
and I personally feel there's the conventional side, which I do not play in very often, obviously, with the amount of assets that I have. And then there's the DSCR side. So let's go to
You
conventional.
tried. You tried.
Yeah, you try. So let's go with conventional, because this is where I think AI is coming fastest and quickest and will probably be the most impactful. And it's kind of like filing your taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you like, what is it? Quicken, like you file your taxes online for free or some nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
If all you have is a paycheck, it's kind of the same thing, right? If you're just a W-2 employee and you're buying your first home and you don't have a complex balance sheet, why couldn't, a checklist of, hey, send me these 7 documents. Why couldn't AI just take it, process it, throw it in the automated system, get approved eligible or not? And then, oh, by the way, maybe at some point kick it to an underwriter for manual intervention if there's a no. But I think what happens with AI for conventional is it takes all of the inputs, it gets approved eligible. If it's yes, it's just completely AI. And maybe what comes in are the no's or the question marks.
Right.
And then that's where a human comes in and goes, oh,
right.
We couldn't scan that document because it was too blurry or whatever.
Right.
Then you get human intervention.
Agreed. And even at that point, you're streamlining, your whole process by kind of eliminating a good majority of the people and maybe a couple of like quote unquote real experts. Or right, that can kind of manage those kind of hairier, quirkier deals that are, a little non-conforming to some degree. But no,
so
it's not if, but when.
Yeah. So do me a favor. Let's go back to 2008. You're not at Velocity, right? This is way before you were here. So 2008. Right. How many physical bodies would touch a brand new file, like back in that day? Like, would it be? Are we thinking 8, 9 people, or am I crazy?
Well, if you're talking about both the retail side of the originator all the way through from the lender and everybody else,
everybody, yeah.
At least that, if not more, because again, back then there was a lot more physical kind of
documentation
needed.
Yeah. It was files like
faxes. Yeah, files. You know what I mean? Hole punchers with a little like 2-prong thing, and
you remember?
I mean? And you got a submission form, and you stack it up with the loan app, and then boom, 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 and everything else.
Yeah, the fires with the big blue folders with the multiple tabs in it.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, we had to physically carry around files, and then so again, it would go from the originator to possibly their processor, and from their processor, they would usually have to either fax something over or physically send over the file.
Yep.
Through what was that? Dang it, there was a particular courier service, Transbox.
Yeah,
T-box.
remember? Yeah.
And there would be certain drop-off areas, and the color of your envelope would determine where it was going to get dropped off at, and even certain lenders and places would have like certain colors and color codes and stuff like that. So
crazy.
So yeah, and then from there to the lender, the setup person that would receive it would have to touch it, and then would be assigned to the processor, and then after the processor touched it, the underwriter would have to touch it, and then have to go back to the processor, and then from there it would go to docs, and then the funder, and then so
just crazy.
It's so crazy. But yeah, I mean, with things being streamlined with AI, it replaces a lot of the minutia. You know what I mean? That's just it sometimes would take somebody to physically do that, but it's just low IQ kind of kind of performance that would be needed.
Literally pushing paper.
100%. And so yeah, AI is gonna take over that.
So let me ask you, let's go to the other side.
Yeah.
Could you envision a time in today or even in the not too distant future where Joe and Mary homeowner or wannabe homeowner fills out a file and one or less people touch it? Could you envision that happen?
Yes, because again, if it's automated, right, you'll know the checklist up front. You can provide that because again, there's only so many
documents. Yeah, not many pieces.
Needed. Yeah, no. And so, and a lot of times with AI, if you fill out just a simple loan app now, it'll typically auto-populate a lot of the other areas that whatever automated system will need. And so you're almost giving them information to pre-underwrite the file to some degree, and then now it's just supplying the documentation to back up what you put into the system. Yeah, it's just that simple. So yeah, I mean, it's not if but when. I mean, I'm sure there's other some lenders already doing that to some extent, like Rocket Mortgage and other places like that, where you can kind of briefly do something like that to some degree, and it'll at least place you. You start off with, are you doing a refi or purchase? What property type? So there's a couple of specific automated questions in the beginning of their system that will kind of like lead you down the path of what department to go to or this or that. So it is already getting automated, but I think the underwriting kind of portion of it is right behind that pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because, and I don't want to be a doomer, but I mean, technology is moving at light speed, and you really got to figure things, be proactive to figure out these things. Otherwise, if you're thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be like this forever.
No, yeah. So again, when I step back for this, I went to conventional first, and then there's what Velocity does well, and we've always, or at least I've called. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Velocity is a make sense lender, which means there's exceptions.
Right.
And that's where AI is not really going to play very well, right?
Not just yet. I would imagine, I don't know if the technology is there yet. You know what I mean? The way my brain's thinking that, hey, somebody could write some sort of program, but there's so many different nuances.
Exactly.
There's
file types and technology and taxes
once they got enough of the data, but I don't know if you would be able to do so because there's so many different moving parts to where, like, even the same scenario from deal to deal might be different just from location. If you like this property better than the other than the other metrics, you know what I mean?
Or it could just be Wall Street's appetite. Maybe on Tuesday they like it and on Thursday they don't.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it's happened before. I mean, the changes in the market can be somewhat violent and sudden. We don't change it very often because we're not like knee-jerk reaction, but when it does happen, it's like half a point, up or down.
Yeah.
In 4 months, 1.25 points, up or down. So it could be violent, but it's just not as frequent. But yeah, agreed that it's typically Wall Street for our type of paper, and it's a long way from, at least my estimation with my particular position at this, for this.
Yeah, when you think about the low-hanging fruit, you're not the target. It's the conventional side first.
Yeah, there's just too much nuances at the moment, and there's so many different variables that we can utilize to offset certain deficiencies that other lenders would be like, no, it's either in the box or it's not, and we can kind of color outside the box a little bit, So it makes
that's
it a little
the key.
bit more,
That's
makes it fun.
The key. Yeah. So again, I think AI is coming for lots of different jobs. Again, what would be interesting to me is what else happens, right? I think AI is really good at kind of underwriting, like A equals A, B equals B, C equals C. It's not good at kind of variances of shades,
Right.
at least not yet. Again, you
Right.
could always experience it. You know, this is actually where I think, you know, what I was just thinking about is, and I have no idea Velocity's doing this. I guess it doesn't matter, but Velocity has so much history with lending. Velocity could almost create its own AI bot based on their specific files. And I actually think that's going to be the most valuable thing, because I think there is one of the things that I don't think people get about AI is the data is going to prove valuable. So the fact that Velocity Mortgage has been issuing loans for, you know, decades, there's a track record there, and all of that could be fed into the system. Then you could get performance and all of that. And then Velocity could have its own version of an AI bot, which probably makes it more efficient, at least shortcuts some things. But the key here is Velocity can't let that get outside, because that would be like giving away the secret sauce.
To some degree, yeah, because then other people build a model as well. Like, hey, we could do, you know, similar to what they're doing, might as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know if Velocity would ever build that portion of it, because there's so many different nuances. And at the end of the day, relationship building is another aspect about being an account executive, to nurture the account that they can
for
trust
sure.
you.
I would
just
not,
the
I
computer.
personally would not deal with an AI bot. No chance.
Right. Just not with the, you know what I mean? Like counting a machine to make sure you get paid versus somebody that you build a relationship with and they've always come through for you as far as performance wise. You can count on them in a sense.
Yeah.
And then there's also certain, you know, things that happen where you can't call up a computer and say, hey man, there's this one off. I really need you to push this one up front because of this situation. But with a human being, you know, so that human touch is always going to be, you know, vital for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, until then, I mean, because there's so many different things that can happen sometimes on a file, you know, that you just need somebody hands-on more that can kind of understand it, not just a computer. So yeah, I feel a little bit longer a ways away. I mean, it's been 11 years so far. I'm looking forward to maybe another 10, 11 years.
There you go.
Here.
Yeah, be in your 60s. Get to your 60s. You're good.
Yeah, and at that point, hey, AI take over, because I won't even.
It won't matter.
Yeah, I won't matter to me at that point, buddy.
There you go. Well, this is always fun conversation. We never know what we're going to talk about when we get started. But if somebody wanted to reach out, get a file started, ask some questions, you know, 50, 40, 10, you know, Fast 50, all the great loan products that Velocity has, how do they get that started?
Well, before it's too late, you could still reach a human being down here at sdow@velocitymortgage.com.
You are a human being. You're not AI.
I am a human being. Yep. Anyway, yeah, email down there. In the subject line, please put the acronym ORAAT, which stands for one rental at a time. It makes it easier for me to find your loan or your email, I should say. The body of the email, brief description, what you're looking for. Property address is going to be super helpful. At least city and state, maybe, just to make sure I lend there. Mid FICO score and best phone number to reach at. Typically 48 to 72 hours, I'll be in touch.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Be well.
Thank you, Mike. You too, bud.